Hi, Rick from Rick's Armored Models here. I just want to show you the progress. I did start the last couple days the Hungarian 44M TAS by Hobby Boss, and I'm going to do a little flip thing. I'm starting to put Zimmerit on it. When you look this up on YouTube, just look up 44M TAS, and there is a lot of information on there as to what kind of tank this was. Came from Hungary, developed in Hungary after exposure from Hungarian troops training in Germany with the Panther tank. This was the design they came up to. Now this is a very, very basic kit, and I think it's because there's so much information unknown about this tank. We'll find it on I believe World of Tanks, that kind of stuff, but it only has 12 steps. It's very basic. Like any tank, the most laborious thing is the suspension, which is no big deal to me. That's my favorite part. But every instruction is just very basic. It has some photo etch in it too for the engine grills that you have to make sure you glue very properly, because once you glue the two halves of the hole together, if something comes off, you can't fix it. That's what I'm trying to come to grips with now. And that's the last thing, is just putting it together. So very basic tank here. I did upgrade with a full model metal tracks, and it's got to make it, put a little more weight to it, a little more realism. I don't know yet if I'm going to put a Panther style barrel on there, or I'm going to go with the kit. I really don't like the kit. This is a 2.5 barrel, and I'm going to have to do some magic to make sure it looks like it's seamless. It's not there yet, of course. So I got a decision to make on that based on the elevation inside the turret. It's not like Tamiya where they had the little rubber discs to keep the tension on. So I think what they're doing, what they're doing in that case is relying on the light kit barrel to be able to elevate up and down. I think if I put that aftermarket German Panther tank barrel on it, it's going to have some weight to it. It always does. And it's not going to have that same nice grab that for the elevation of the gun that Tamiya does. But I'm going to work with it, and I'll let you know what I come up with. And here's some other things I'm going to be doing. The Lion War Zimmerit tool set that I bought some time ago on eBay, just happened to come across it on a search pattern that I set on the eBay site. And there's the different ones that come with it, plus the instructions. This was a full kit. Very cool find. And I may be deploying my homemade Zimmerit tools that I have in other videos if you want to check those out. So anyway, these are the two ones I'm using. For stationary, this die is a little bit dark, so it's hard to see the grit on it. But it's a very precise tool. Just take your time with it. The Tamiya epoxy putty that I'm using, you don't have to use this, but I do. It's very forgiving. You can go over that. You don't like your treaded pattern, just go over it again. Just what I would recommend, and what I do, is to do sections, small sections. I did this one day, this yesterday, and I'm debating whether or not to do the whole other three or break them up again. But I also will be doing parts of the side hull, just a couple parts between the wheels where a soldier could have put a magnetic mine, was what the Germans were afraid of. And my whole premise for using Zimmerit is that Hungary and Nazi Germany were allies during World War II, and if this had come to fruition and they would have went in production, they might have gotten the Zimmerit technology from the Germans and put it on their tanks. And it's just a what if thing to make this more interesting. Why does Zimmerit make a tank more interesting? Okay, so why would I put Zimmerit on this? Okay, this is a tank that was developed by Hungary. Only 2 prototypes were made, which were destroyed, which I mentioned in my last video about the Kugelblitz that I was starting this project. Check it out if you'd like to see that. Where they only made 2 prototypes, and then the factory was bombed and everything was lost. I can only imagine that they only have what this tank looked like from sketches and stuff from developers that were not there when the bombs fell. So that's conjecture on my part. But I chose a Panther style type Zimmerit with the grid pattern, with them going the opposite way with the ridges. It's kind of cool. And you can see that I chose it also because of how they do the profile of the turret, which is really cool. It's just a challenge for the Zimmerit, but I think I did all right. And it's got these little bump outs like the Tiger II, what is known as the Porsche turret, or better known initial production turret. It's got a double bump out. That's where you can see it better on this side. I haven't done that side yet. There you go. Those fingers help out a lot for things to focus. Anyway, so that's where I'm starting. I am using right over here. When it comes time to do pin washing, not only do you get the pin washes inside the tiny, almost waffle patterns here, but in the main channels here, and it really accents the model, and you get a lot of color off of things. And it's something the modeler really enjoys. That for me, tanks is all I do, and it really brings out the best in the vehicle, I think. So I think instead of just regular armor plate for the Hungarian 44M TAS, I think I'm going to go with the Zimmerit. So a couple of things I'm going to be trying, I'll put in the next video. I came up with that. I rolled out the epoxy putty to make it thin on the table. This is a ink roller that I got at hobby store, and it was really helped out to get the 2 areas on the turret I've done so far. So this is what I've done so far. I wanted to see how you liked it, and there'll be more updates as I progress in this project, and we'll see you again soon.